Hello everybody, Susan here with Pumpkin Hill Stampers, and I have a Make It Monday project for you today. Now I haven't actually created the finished product yet, so I can't show you what we're going to finish with, but I'm going to be playing with the Freshly Made Sketches Sketch 468, where we've got some of these simple layers, so we're going to be working on that thought. And then I have these two new stamp sets from the spring catalog, the Happy Thoughts and the Floating and Fluttering. Now, I stamped and die cut a whole bunch of these butterflies, and then I decided to do a really simple card instead. So I'll use all those other butterflies on another project. But for today, we're going to use this sketch, like I said. We're going to be using a sample of the Fine Art Florals Designer Series paper. I'm opting to go with this bumblebee pattern here because I want something bright. We're going to use a black card base because I thought that made a kind of a glowy, homey, warm feeling, so I wanted that. I've die cut from Basic Black from the Floating and Fluttering dies, just this label die here. You can see I've got all my dies inside, and just so you know, you get two of these large multi dies, so you can die cut two at the same time, which is a great time saver. So we're going to be playing with those. So as you can see, I've already die cut my little black square. I've got my DSP ready to go, and I've stamped with my black ink and die cut on a Whisper White the multi-butterfly images. Now the nice thing about this set is that you can die cut them all together, right? So you end up with the piece, or, I'll show you one more time, we have dies in here where you could just die cut that butterfly if you wanted just that one. Or if you wanted them all to be standalone, there is a die for each of these to cut each of those separately, so you can use them as separate elements as well. Or if you wanted to, you could just snip them from this piece after you die cut the three. So whatever's easiest for you. And then there's also this fun butterfly, I've not used it yet, where it's going to impress kind of the different images of that butterfly, and it's going to cut it out for you as well. So more projects to come using this set, I am sure, since there are so many options. Okay, so let me slip this back in. As you can see, my stamps here are just about all off of their sheet. There's only three I'm not using on this project that I think. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so first things first. Like I said, I've already stamped and die cut the butterflies. Now I'm going to do the two-step stamps and come in and add some color. So the first one I'm going to use is my base color, and this is going to be the bumblebee. So I'm just going to use the full-bodied image stamped on my bumblebee ink there, and I can see through my photopolymer stamp, I can see through my block for placement. So this makes two-step stamping really, really simple. Okay, so there is my bright yellow color. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. Now I'm going to come in with, I chose pumpkin pie, and I've got the secondary detail stamp if you want to add two colors or two definitions, and I'm just going to layer this over the top. See how I get more definition on each of those images. So I'm just lining up these print with the second color. And this one's kind of funny, it's kind of just the arc, but you have to think the butterfly is turned sideways, so you just need half of the dual color. Okay, then I'm bringing in our good old garden green to do the leaves. So this one will fill here. And then this one, we'll do these two sprigs. And if you want a lighter, you can always stamp off and do lighter. Okay, so there's that. Alright, so let's look at our sketch for a second. So I've got my card base, right? I've got a layer just for some color, right? I'm going to use this piece here, and I'm going to put my stamped and colored with stamps die on top. Now I want to stamp my sentiment down here, and I'm going to do that next. So I'm not borrowing, I'm using the stamp that says, "The little things you do so well and so often make a big difference to so many people." Because I think right now a lot of people need some encouragement that what they are doing, even if it's something small like, you know, running an errand for a neighbor, or watching somebody's children in the afternoon after school because they're finding a hard time. The little things make a big difference to all those around you. So I think this is a great sentiment. So I've just inked that up with my black ink here, and I'm going to stamp this first. So I'm going to use my grid paper, just make sure it's square to start with, and then I'm going to line up my stamp near the bottom and just stamp my sentiment on. Now I did that because I don't want my embellishment to come down too low and then not have room for the whole thing. Okay, so there we go. So here we go. There's my layers again. Now I know I'm going to put this above, right there. So lots of color, but simple layers. Now you can see in the sketch they actually have this darker panel. I'm going to stamp that on instead of using another layer of paper. So I'm going to remove this, and I'm going to come back in with my garden green, and I'm going to come in with the little leaf that's in the stamp set that I haven't used yet. So I'm just going to stamp on my DSP, coming down. Now I know it's going to be blocked out in the middle here. Remember, this is going to go right here. So I just want to stamp kind of around the edges a little bit to fill in some of this space, but I'm not going to go all the way to the ends. I just want a little bit poking out around the side. Let's see how that goes. Maybe I didn't go far enough over. Yeah, I need to come farther over here. So move those out a little bit. Okay, then I want a little more up here. So you can just kind of fill in your space. But see, I kind of created a background on my DSP itself. Do I want one more? One more right there, I think. Okay, so let's lay all this up. Let's see where we get. So I'm going to bring in my adhesive. Okay, so this is the back side, right? Our paper has two sides. And this is just going to go straight onto my cardstock. So framed piece there. This one I'm also going to just put down with regular adhesive. That's going to go above. So I got that green pattern behind. This I am going to put up on dimensionals. Right, have a little pop behind this die cut stamped image. And then you could do very square, but if you want to offset it, you certainly could do that, and I'm going to do that. I'm going to offset it a little bit. So there's that. And then because we have a black card, I'm going to go ahead and stamp on the inside. First I'm going to put my greeting in, my thank you. And then I'm going to come back with my little, the one I used on the background stamping, and I'm just going to add a little bit. I missed. See that? But I can line it right back up again. There. Just add a couple of sprigs to the inside, just for a little fun, a little color. Okay, so we're going to add that. To the inside. Lots of space to write a note. You could always put a second panel there if you wanted to write an actual note. And there's our card. So again, I used the Happy Thoughts and the Floating and Fluttering stamp. I used almost all the stamps there and made my card for the Freshly Made Sketches blog hop. So, okay guys, it's your turn. So let's make some cards today, and if you want to share them, you can post them on our Facebook group, and I'd love to see what you're doing. All right? All right, thanks for joining me today for Make It Monday. Have fun. Bye-bye.